Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy what we're bringing you today on your Tuesday, your team list Tuesday. Obviously the team lists have been dropped and all that, but we will touch on that a little bit later on with me and Levon. So I hope you guys do enjoy that a little bit later on. Obviously, you know that Levon isn't here currently right now. He will be on a little bit later on. He does have a few things to get in place and that, and then he'll be able to jump on with us to touch on the team list and all that, and to touch on this weekend's game, because I'm really, really excited. I don't know if it's you guys and that. I know you could look at it two different ways. You can go negative about this weekend, like, oh, maybe we're gonna get smashed in that, but I'm actually very positive, and I'm hoping that the boys can really show up something, because I think there's one way to change the season and to prove everyone wrong is, you know, I know we lost against some very disappointing sides, but if we get a scalp against a big side like the Roosters like this, especially the Roosters that are in incredible form, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on, I think that could do wonders for our season currently in that. But shout out to everyone in the chat right now, 16 viewers right now. Jazzy, good to see you in there, my bro. Thank you so much for coming through. Everyone make sure, jump in the chat and really, you know, bounce off each other here. We're going to talk about a little bit before we're going to go through our team list and stuff like that when Levon comes through. We're just going to go through the game last weekend and all that, and just get our final thoughts out there. You know, see what you guys are thinking overall. But yeah, really, really excited for this weekend coming up. Thank you, Tim Miller, for coming through. Rugby League history. Appreciate you coming through, my bro. Tanya, always good to see you in the chat. And Tahi, bro, thank you so much for coming through. T Miller, the Rooster squad looks lethal, 100%. And we are definitely going to be going through that a little bit later on, especially when Levon comes onto the stream. We'll probably wait for him to come on and we'll bounce with each other and thoughts overall for the team list and that overall. Yeah, it's a very, very strong lineup. And, you know, let's be honest, like, if we're able to pull something out of the hat with this lineup here, you know, who knows? This could definitely change our season around. I know it's a lot more of hope at the moment because we don't have any history to go off of, especially after the last 3 weeks and that. But I'm hoping the boys can really turn something around here and really get some positivity back into our, you know, community right now. Tanya, anyone else got anxiety already? I honestly, like, as I said before, like, I'm actually really, really, I'm really excited. I think, you know, I know we'll probably touch on, like, Webby, you know, when he comes out his press conferences and saying, like, you know, as a group, this is a challenge and we got to get over the top of these sort of things as a group. Keep talking about he's excited for the challenge, but, like, these are the games that we should be excited for. I know the Roosters are in incredible form right now, but there is, you know, who knows, there's an opportunity to really change our season right now and get it started right now. And that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see if the boys can step up to the plate, because I think, you know, whether the last 3 weeks, I wouldn't say it's complacency, but if there was even any argument to that being us being very complacent, which, again, like, you know, we should have got over the top of the Knights. If we're complacent the last 2 weeks, we shouldn't have complacent against the Knights. But I think the Roosters should get the best out of us, especially, you know, how hot they're running currently right now. I'll go through my stats and stuff a little bit later on the Roosters and what they are doing right now, because in form-wise, they are probably the most informed team in the competition, in my opinion. So thank you so much, guys, coming through again. Luke, good to see you in my chat. Only just chatting to you before, my bro. Appreciate you coming through, my man. Horsey, keeping the faith, 100%. Just keep the faith, my bro. Just keep the faith. Luke Vanua Blake for a double. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully, the key to our attack, as I touched on, if you guys haven't gone and checked out my video that I dropped on What's Up TV, guys, my thoughts overall on the squad right now, where we're really, falling behind and what we have lost from maybe the earlier games in the season and us going away from our game plan and that. But, yeah, we need to get back to direct football, and maybe that does come through Adam Fanor-Blake with a couple of tries against the Roosters here. Who knows? Jazzy Horsey. Mel, wow, that Roosters team looks so good. Yikes. Yes, they look incredible. They do look incredible. It's hard to really say anything other than that. Like, Sammy Walker's come back from, injury and that little time away, grown a beard, and just grown into some different type of form right now. And, we'll go through the other team a little bit later on, but, players like Angus Crichton are getting back into like really, really top form. And also, guys, if you want to check out more of a, overall view about the league currently right now, and that, do check out my show tomorrow night on Wednesday, Around the League with Ash. So we'll go through all the, teams around the league, my, hot and who's not, and just really touch on maybe a couple of little value picks for my Punters Paradise, guys, if you got on them. I know my last week's one, I had 2 duds, obviously, a couple of late pulls on a couple of players there. You would have hopefully got your cash back on those, but, a couple of players got over and would have maybe made something out of it. But I think overall I was on the right sort of track with both of those bets overall. Tanya, hopefully Lenu will say something stupid and get March. Yeah, another 8 weeks. Let's hope. Jazzy, awesome lineup, Mel. Yup. T. Miller, Spencer back, going to be fizzing. Yes. And we've seen, we've been hurt by Spencer before. I remember Magic Round last year with the Panthers. We were holding in really strong with that matchup there. Really giving it to the Panthers for the most of it. And come, the last, 10 to 15, they chuck on Spencer. And he changed the momentum, even in that mid 15 or whatever. But at the late part in that game, to run over the top of, I think it was Freddie Lussick and that to score to try to put him ahead, but to put him over 18-6. So definitely need to key in on players like him, especially when they're coming off the bench and changing momentum. But we got a couple other guys that have come back off injury, and we'll get through that a little bit later on. Obviously, you see that. Mel, yeah, 100%, definitely. Richard, kia ora, Ash. Hope the boys are ready to pluck some feathers this week. Hopefully pluck a win. I couldn't agree with you more, man. That's why I'm so excited for this weekend coming up. Is like, we could either look at this as, oh man, we're going to get smokes, like, and have no positive view overall. And I can understand that after the last 3 weeks. Or we could look at it as hopefully the boys get up for this and really plan to change our season off a big game like this. We got 2 big games coming up, the Roosters and the Panthers. The big thing against us last year was we weren't able to get over these top teams. We've got an opportunity now, even in really bad form, to show some urgency, show something, show some energy, and hopefully the boys can turn that around a little bit. Tristan, thank you so much for coming through. Tristan Boyd, heading to Allianz on Sunday. Great venue, big game. Let's go, boys. We can do this. 100%, we can. Any team at the moment, rugby league right now, the NRL, it only takes a couple of wins and we look like we're back into some sort of form. But I think the boys just need to show it with a little bit of urgency, intensity. And as I keep saying, if there's any game that these boys should be getting up for, it should be these big games here, like these games that we've circled on a calendar. Hopefully Shawnee is getting more on the training paddock, and that's kind of my little downfall if you haven't checked out my video on that. But I want to see those combinations start to come together instead of us just relying on out the back movement of that right side out the back movement. Start using our edge back rollers, start playing more directs. I think overall, I would really, really enjoy to see that and just see a little bit more urgency. And then hopefully that left side starts coming along and Tamade can get his voice a little bit more and we can start using him, especially with Mitch Barnett being paired up on that side now. And we'll go through that a little bit later on as well. I'm really, really excited for that because Mitch Barnett, I believe is incredible. I feel like we're going to miss him through the middle and I maybe don't like that move for that sort of look, but I also do know that defensively he'll hold down that edge and he will give that urgency on that side. And hopefully that sways Tamade Martin to really play that side a little bit more. Jacko, good to see you coming through, my man. Brody, thank you so much, bro. Waz Rice ID gonna need to be on point with the former Angus down that edge. Yeah, 100%, 100%. The way Angus is playing at the moment, he's playing himself back into a Blues sort of jersey look. And a lot of talk right now on contracts. You know, Angus Crichton looking like that. Maybe the Roosters are going to look at re-signing him, but they also put in their name in the ring for Dave Fafita. So, but it just shows how good a form Angus Crichton is in right now to change that overall view of Angus and for the Roosters to look at maybe offering him another contract. So that's a big one there. Mel, we didn't beat the Roosters last year, right? No, we had 2 games last year against the Roosters. The first one at a core from memory. No, I think it was Sydney at the SCG. Either way, I think that first one was in Sydney anyway. We ended up competing with them, but ended up getting beat, I'm pretty sure. And then the second game was in New Zealand, and that was the wet track that we couldn't score points over them. But I thought we performed really well in that game, just couldn't get over the line, unfortunately, which seems to be a problem this year at the moment too. So who knows? JWH with throat bumpers. Stop it. Jazzy Tristan, I am going to try and get out to the game as well. Yeah, nice. Good to see you, bro. T Miller, if we play our best, definitely a chance. Yeah, good to see a little bit of positivity through here, guys. I really do appreciate that overall. Tristan, Jazzy, yep, 100%. Jacko, we would like a wounded bull caught in a corner. It is ready to fight. Yeah, 100%, Jacko. That's the best way to look at it, is like we need to really get into this weekend and show that we have some urgency in our squad, because I feel like we did. That's what I was hoping for last week with the Knights, and we missed that. And I think we just need to see that. Like, that's all we need to see as fans. Like, I'm hoping we give it a red hot crack and just things start clicking into place. I don't think it's going to be a drastic change over, a couple of weeks and that, but I do believe that hopefully we can continue to grow and maybe hopefully get over the top of the Roosters here. I reckon I'm very excited. I am very excited, guys. Jacko, Barnett moving to the edge, move back to an edge. Yeah, as I said before, we'll go through the team list a little bit later on, but I got a couple other thoughts on that because I know a lot of people are worried about our bench look and all that, but I do think that Webby's going to change some things coming into the game. He's done it pretty much, consistently every week. And then coming into this one, we got a couple of ins off suspension and stuff like that maybe they could look throw up a couple of looks. Even a Jacob Laban to be named at that, 18th man sort of look. I do believe there's a chance that maybe he slots in for a Pompey, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Brody Blake, good to see you again, my bro. Hot take, doggies have a better chance against the Panthers than the Wars do against the Roosters this week. Nah, just kidding. Might be a tough week for both of us. Honestly, bro, I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge. I want to see the boys do it. That's the big thing too, I guess. But I think we have the opportunity to do it. In the competition right now, I believe anyone can beat anybody on their day. It's just you got to turn up on a day. And I think the Roosters are in red hot form right now, but they've showed inability. Like sometimes they showed inconsistencies throughout the last couple of years. They've done this before. Maybe we can put them back into that inconsistency form. So I'm hoping on that a little bit more. Jacko here, yeah, Pompey on the bench again. Yep, we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Didn't Crichton get a double last week? Angus, yeah. He was incredible against the Broncos. They played the Broncos off the park in that one and really showed a lot of weaknesses in the Broncos as well. I thought the Broncos attack looked amazing in moments, but also fell apart due to some injuries and that later on in the game. But the Roosters really held him out well, and I think defensively, they're going to be really up for this game as well. Up the wires, you want to go tit for tat? You put Zion on the field after Lenu. Yeah, that would be an interesting little thought there. Tony T, good to see you back, my man. Appreciate ya. Mate, we're going to come back strong this weekend. We'll play better against a better side. Good change up in the pack. Yeah, definitely. I believe there's some good little changes in there. I feel like I'm a bit more positive now to see like players coming back off injury. I know we lost another one, Kurt Capewell with injury, but it would be really good to see. Obviously, Jazzy coming back into the lineup is a massive tick, especially, we were thinking we're going to be without him till round 13. And I think he definitely helps out cleaning up around our ruck and that. So I'm really, really excited to touch on that a little bit later on when Levon comes on. Jeff Hansen, good to see you, my bro. Hopefully I'm guessing you say TMM can fire up. Yeah, 100%, hopefully. Or you mean hopefully the team can fire up. Either way, I hope they do, either way. NP, really nervous considering Roosters high scoring in the last two. This is a game for the Waz to prove we are worthy for the top 4. Let's go. I think this is just a game for us to prove that we are slowly getting back into form. Like, I still have a slight hope for top 4 this year, and I believe that if we get a couple of nice wins here, we can maybe change that view of maybe we can be back in the top 4 sort of look. But I think the overarching view at the moment is we want to be back in the 8 first. So I think we need to take baby steps at a time. I'm still holding out hope for top 4, obviously. I still believe that we got a unit that can do that, especially boys coming back off injury, and with our first, like, our full squad, I reckon we got an opportunity to push for that. But at the moment, it's just not looking that way at the moment, and we just need to be looking at pushing for top 8. And I think this is a great start here to knock off a big team that's in current form right now. And just judging on like performances across the league, like, you know, anything can happen, as I keep saying. And I really do think the boys can be up for this matchup, and we can really take it to a team like these guys, because, you know, I feel like hot and firing, we can give it a go, even though that I keep looking at Roosters team list, guys. Everything that you guys are saying is 100% true. Mr. Ocean, good to see you, bro. Heading to this game this weekend. Loved every minute at Newcastle. Let's get it, boys. Love the positivity, my man. Obviously, in the chat, it looks like Jazzy and Tristan might be going out to the game. You know, if you guys see each other, or if you know each other or anything like that, you know, say hello to each other. Get together as a group, you know, get some positivity around the squad right now, and hopefully the boys get a good win for you down there. Moscow this week. This next month is definitely defining for us. Don't need to win them all. Just need to show up. And so, yeah, I think this is a massive, massive month for us. I think we've put ourselves in this predicament right now, and that's really unfortunate. But we've got to have trust in our squad, the team that we have, and hopefully they can turn it around. This is definitely where we need to show that we can get back into this 8 discussion, and also get back into like some of the top team talks, because we're slowly dwindling away here. Jacka here, don't believe everything an Aussie tells you, Tanya. It rained bucket load in Sydney. I've heard rumours, I'm guessing Tanya must have said earlier on, I'm so sorry, Tanya, if I did miss it. I have heard rumours that it's probably raining this weekend in Sydney. I'm pretty sure. I don't have Sydney freaking weather up or anything like that, but I have a feeling that there is going to be rain again, which is really, really unfortunate. Yeah, let me quickly just check here, guys. Yeah, by the looks of it, there is rain this weekend coming for New South Wales. So, you know what I mean? Like, either way, whether it's dry, whether it's raining, like, we need to start looking like we can play direct, play through a squad, and really just grind a victory out. Whatever way we can get it done, as long as we can get it done and show improvement, that's the biggest thing I think everyone wants to see at the moment. Number 0, thank you so much for coming through. Really appreciate you. Pompey should develop into a second row center hybrid. Would be an ideal bench spot if he was. There was a little bit of talk around Pompey playing second row and all that. I'm not too sure where that development's going to be happening, or, you know, how far it's going to go, because the more he gets named on these bench looks and not getting time in New South Wales Cup to play out that look would probably be detrimental to his development in that sort of look if we're going to look at him as a second rower now. But it's definitely an interesting thought. I still think that we have the forwards and the edge cover to really, like, you know, work around that. And I believe, like, you know, we'll touch on it a little bit later on. We got players on our bench that can cover. For me, like, one big one is, like, obviously Dylan Walker can cover that backline set. So I don't believe that we need to be having a second row / center sitting on the bench, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. Mel, look at what the Titans done against the Storm. Most people wrote the Titans off. I agree, Ash. Any team can beat anyone on their day. This season is insane like that. 100%. And I don't think there's been one massive standout team in this competition right now. I know the Roosters are hot and in fire right now, but they've also had some really low moments this season. I know the Melbourne Storm fire, just like win rate, they are just winning games they're supposed to do. But I think there's a lot of people out there, even me, like, you see them win these games, but you also see like moments where they can be beatable. It's just they're doing so well to keep winning. I feel like that's what's putting them up top there. Obviously, you know, winning is a big thing there and gaining points over the season. Panthers seem to be the one. If you're going to put your money on any team at the moment, like, even though the Panthers haven't been just out the blocks like incredible, they've still been very solid, and going off history, they should be the favorites this season. I think the Broncos have showed some frailties in moments as well, especially, you know, I know we've got Capewell, and Capewell hasn't been very, like, he's been very up and down for us, but I feel like the Broncos had missed someone like Capewell the last couple of weeks, someone to fill in those positions when they have injuries and that. You know, there's a couple of moments like that. They have a lot of errors in their game in moments, like, There's definitely areas in multiple other teams that they can fix up on. And it's not just me saying as a Warriors fan from the bottom of the ladder and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's not just that. But I think if you look across any team in the league at the moment, there is moments where you can definitely say that we can get the upper hand advantage if we play out our game plan to the full effect. And, I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. That's the biggest thing. I think we all understand that. I don't think there's anyone coming into that thinking that they're not going to be, but it's good to see some positivity, and we're going to look into, like, hopefully knocking off one of the big dogs, especially with the form they're coming into this game with. Stat stacking carnivore. I get the feeling that Sean is dominant, so dominant at ball during attack that Tamade gets crumbs. We need to trust Tamade. I think, for me, it looks like, if you've checked out my video I've done on Wise Up TV, I'm so sorry to keep plugging on it, but I feel like it gets a bit more of my rounded view overall on it. Is there's two opposite ends of the spectrum here. It's like, I do agree Shawnee's getting the bucket load of, like, all the chances, especially running on that right edge and that, but I don't know whether that's down to maybe we haven't built the trust with Tamade yet. Maybe Tamade's communication on that side, which I've pointed out a couple of times. Obviously last week you saw that he was calling underlines for Capewell, but he wasn't, and they both ran an overs line. There's been a couple of times this season that he's run something or he's overcalled a play to run it that side, and it looked like there was no structure on that side at all either. You know what I mean? So maybe that's a loss of trust there. But I do believe if we want to grow as well, like, we need to find some sort of attack down that side as well, which I was praying on more so earlier on the season, of thinking I was going to build overall, but I think we've been hit with injuries at the worst time and that, and our combination has been switched around a lot to where we haven't had the ability to gain a lot in our attack, and we're going back to the motions and we're going through the motions, and I feel like that's what's hurting our team more so than not. Because as I said in my review, and that I believe the best thing that our team's doing currently right now is, we're getting the first, like, box ticked of getting into field position. We're the best team for it in the competition right now. If you haven't got checked out, I want everyone, make sure if you got Twitter or X, whatever it's called right now, I think it's the Rugby League eye test, did actually an amazing piece. I'm sure someone in the chat or whatever has actually pointed it out in my last video on that, but does an amazing piece on how the boys are getting into really good field position and stuff, but also, like, they are struggling to get over the white chalk and getting points on our side, and we're actually one of the worst teams on that. There's actually a lot of positive signs to our season at the moment that is very, like, it's troubling to see that we are losing to teams like this, but there is positive signs there that we can hold on to, hopefully. It's more so the fact we can get into field position. I don't believe that's the issue at all. I believe mainly the issue is we're going through the motions as soon as we get into the opposite 20 and expecting that right side shift's going to work it out itself, because we had a lot of success last year, instead of actually remembering what got us to the dance last year of that right side success, and that's using hard running edge back rollers of, Kara and Nick Orde and stuff like that. Maybe we are missing them a little bit more, and it's starting to become more noticeable now. Maybe that's the reason why Jackson Ford has gone to that right side, and maybe we're looking at that. But I believe that everything else of our squad at the moment, other than defensively, we have fallen off defensively within the last couple of games and that. And I believe that we can get back to our good defensive form. But if you're looking in attacking wise, I believe we do everything perfect all the way up till the opposite 20. I know we got errors in our game and penalties and stuff like that, but, sometimes, that happens in football games. But the majority of it, we can put a team into the opposite end and we can attack on that line. We just can't crack over that line. So that's my biggest thing overall. That's why I kind of don't agree with a lot of the changes and stuff like that people are coming out with, because, like, I don't believe anyone's change that they come out with at the moment actually helps that argument of what everyone's saying. I believe a lot of it is coming down to Shawnee not getting a lot of time during the week working on combinations, and we're just going through the motions in the game thinking it's just going to come off. We're not playing short enough. We're not playing direct enough. And then, the combination of Sean, Wade Egan, Chance and all that, and Tamade aren't getting enough runs on the board in the training paddock. And when it comes onto the football field, they go back to the basics when they get put under pressure. And at the moment, it seems to be Shawnee just relying on Chance out the back. And that's a bit of a worry. So that's why I keep saying, guys, like, whenever anyone brings up, like, changes, like, I've seen a lot of people want Tuapiki in that 6 role. And, like, I don't think you guys would notice, like, Tane defensively wouldn't hold in on that front line defense. It's very similar to a Jaden Campbell of the Titans. The Jaden Campbell wouldn't be looked at that 6 role. I think it's very similar to the reason why the Broncos are very reluctant to put Tristan Saylor or something like that into the 6 role when they're covering, like they're doing halves problems at the moment with Adam Reynolds out, is because of that defensive line. It is a different ball game when you're in that defensive line. Kalen Ponga deal with that as well. You know what I mean? And Kalen Ponga is a bigger body, more experienced body. I don't think Tane's our fix to that problem. And I don't think changing Monty, Roger, I don't think changing Dallin, Berry, I don't think that fixes anything. I honestly do believe this is a spine problem. This is a game plan problem of, people overcalling and really running through the motions on that right side and just relying on that right side. And that's my whole argument to the whole argument before of RTS at wing. I believe that Monty does the work out of the back end to get us in good field position. He just doesn't get the ball in good position in that opposite 20. And if you put RTS into the wing, everyone wants to see RTS with his hands on the ball more. Yeah, 100%. But you're only going to see it out of the back end as well. As soon as it gets back down to the opposite 20, we're going to have the exact same issue because we have the exact same spine, the exact same 6. We've got the exact same game plan that is not going left. So Roger's not going to get the ball in a finishing position there. It's just not going to happen. So that's my whole thing of even if you put Ali on that side, Big Ali, if he goes on that center side, I don't believe that he's going to be the attacking threat that you believe he is because he's only going to get a couple of touches a game. Roger does amazingly well to actually attack back in the middle as a center, come off his center, come through the middle and do some work and get us into good field position. And I think that's the big positive in our game. So I just believe that we just need to calm down on thinking changes is where it's going to be happening. I think the overarching changes we do need is Shawnee get back to training. I know it's hard to say. He's dealing with injuries. Maybe he does just need a rest. Maybe we need to bite the bullet and run to Mate Martin and Dylan Walker 1 week or something like that. I know that hurts to say, but if he's not going to build combinations during the week, when it comes to the game time and pressure he gets put under, he's just going through the motions again. And unfortunately, that's just not working for us. And I don't think this is a Sean Johnson issue. I just think that he's too tough for his own good, and he's going to play through these things because he's trusting our season, he trusts in the game plan and that, but he's not running our game plan to full effect, if that makes sense. Especially when you look at early parts of the season to where we're at now, early parts of the season, we're playing so much more direct. We're running, off Wado. Wado is getting more chances. Maybe there's more argument too. Wado's not getting a lot of chances at the moment too. So, there's a lot of other issues that we have that don't rely on the back line. Because at the moment, I think the back line does an amazing job to get out of their back end. I know they got a couple of errors in them, but there's a lot of teams in the competition that have their back line have just as many errors, but they don't do as much work as our back line do. And I don't think that changes with any changes anyone's put out there at the moment. So, I've even seen, RTS playing fullback. Look at, RTS is going to do exactly what Chance does at fullback. And probably add a bit more of a flary sort of look of with his footwork and stuff like that. But we've seen this. We've seen how that right side became so much more we became more of a running right side on that side when we go out the back with Rog. And I know that Chancey is a bit more of the sum up the 3-on-2 situation, even though he's not getting space. Roger's not going to get space on that right side if we keep running the set the way we did. We saw was it the Raiders game? I think it was the Raiders game where he played in that fullback position. When we're going through those set plays, Roger was getting ran out that side just as much. So I don't think that's the change at all. I believe that people are forgetting how good Chance is and how good Chance has been. And Chance is still in great form. He had one bad game. Before this, he was incredible for us, notching up over 200 meters a week. I cannot believe that argument. And overall, I don't believe Chance is better at center than what Roger is at center. So I don't know why that argument's even get brought up. Overall, I don't think the argument right now, I don't think changes are going to help our side. The only thing that's going to help our side right now is the boys getting together and really building combinations and really trusting in the actual game plan and not running this sideways look that we've been running with. Get direct. Use our forwards. They're the most damaging part of our squad. We've got one of the best forward packs, especially with the front boys of Adam Fanor-Blake, Mitch Barnett. Those boys that get on the front foot really well. We scored a lot of our tries through the middle as well. So, overall, your changes of people going to 6, we don't have anyone that's going to replace Tamade Martin at the 6 role at the moment. Unless you run a Chuck Dylan Walker there, but there goes our bench rotation again. There's no argument to me right now that's going to say that, all right, I'll go, that 100%, that definitely looks like it needs to change, because I don't think there's anyone out there that definitely needs to change. I think we're missing a couple of key men, and I think we're all scrambling to find the fix. And honestly, the only man that is out there that can find the fix is Andrew Webster. And that's my honest opinion, guys. That's my honest opinion. Yeah, Jacko, 100%. Walker is not a 6. 100%. Chanel is what everyone's throwing up at the moment, but I don't think people remember Chanel's not back till round 13. We can't have there's no one else that's going to be able to play 6 at a click of what Tomato Martin has the skill set to do at the moment at our club. Ben Farr, I don't even think is in our top 30 right now. We don't have anyone else that's going to really change to a picky everyone's calling out for. As I said before, defensively, he's not going to hold up on that side, which defensively, our left side's actually been very strong at the moment with Tomato Martin in there. So I don't think he's going to help the threat on the outside. I've seen Roger to 6, and I think that is the most craziest thought I've ever heard anyone say. When have you ever looked at Roger and goes, he's going to be a 6. He's going to be a great 6. Like, I've never seen that out of Roger. I really don't understand that argument. I've never have. I just think that people are going like absolutely mental. I understand we're out of form 100%, but if you watch our form and where we're falling apart, it's not the areas that we want to change that you guys are really putting out these changes for. The areas where we're falling apart is when we get to the opposite end. It's our spine not putting together the plays to really get the boys over the edge. You know, I love Shawnee as much as everyone else. So this is not me blaming Shawnee. This is more so blaming like Shawnee's not running those edge back rollers and really hitting in deep and really, you know, working the defense over to open up that right side look. And then when we go left, it's like Tomato is not communicating to the outside to really build something on that side, you know? It's just not happening at the moment on that left side. So the more you want to change that left side, is what it is. You can change RTS and all that. They're still not going to get the ball in good field position on that side. They're going to still be doing exactly the shit work that they're doing right now. I don't see that change. I really don't. Jacko here, going to stick with Tomato at 6, but Tuapiki should play 6 in cup for a game or two, see how he goes. If you actually want to see, like, Tuapiki's had some good opportunities to play 6. He played it in the Kiwi A squad, and I thought he's versatility enough to play 6, but consistently at first grade, he is not a 6 in first grade. He is a good fullback, a really good fullback. And you're going to chuck a second year fullback in that 6 role to fix our problems over and more of an experienced piece that is slightly out of form at the moment, or definitely out of form at the moment. I won't disagree there. He's definitely out of form at the moment. If you're going to look at any other fixes, like the main one I want is like obviously Chanel or Metcalf back, but they're both injured. You know what I mean? Like that's the position we're in, guys, unfortunately. Changes will make it worse, Tahi. Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. Give Rocco a break, bring Ali in. There's maybe a little bit of food for thought there, but also I'd say that Rocco was one of our standout players early on in the season. I feel like a lot of what's happening on that right side now, where it's very stagnant, we're not using Rocco to full effect. He's been hitting those amazing lead lines there too that just aren't getting used at the moment. As I keep saying, like I keep touching on, and I know you commented this on X, Todd. I appreciate you coming through. If you go check out my YouTube channel on that, like on Wise Up TV, and go check out my video on that, is a lot of our problem on that right side is we're going way too sideways, and a lot of our time we cut off that space for chance because we aren't opening up that defense to give that look to happen. When we started the season, the Rabbits game is a big one. I know it's a bit more of a flat track, if you want to call it that, because the Rabbits aren't good, right? But we showed our attacking potential on that side, especially with running our edge back rolls hard and really eating in on Dylan Walker and Jack Whiten. And then we ran Rocco Berry on a mad lead line, bang, hit him short. That's what Rocco's good for. And we're not using like that at the moment. We aren't. We're going sideways. The amount of times I saw on the weekend against Newcastle, Shawnee just out the back and Chance cutting off all the space on the outside. And Braden Best was just covering him and just going, where are you going to go, bro? Like, you're going out. That's the biggest thing. Horsey Monty Beethan said it's small fixes and the boys are keen for this weekend. Yeah, good to see. I just want to see the boys go out there and perform. I totally agree with Monty. I do believe that it is small fixes. I think everyone in rugby league community do believe that is actually small fixes to really help our problems here. I just think that it's an excuse, 100%, that Shawnee's dealing with an injury problem that's not helping him train. But I believe that it's actually becoming more of an issue than we actually give it credit for. You know what I mean? Like, he's not actually having time to really build a combination. And, you know, footy is about combinations, about building, you know, trust to the outside men and that. And he's not trusting his edge back rollers. He's not trusting that left side to do that left side shift properly, or Tomato's not building that trust with Wade Egan to really overcall Shawnee. It's a lot of that at the moment that I'm seeing. That's my biggest problem with the team. I don't think there's anything else on that team that's really wrong. I'd love to see Roger get more good ball, but the only way you're going to give him good ball is if we open up that left side look with Tamade Mutton. It's not pushing Roger to the wing. He's not going to get good ball that way. I don't believe that. If we fix our current bench rotation, we would still have chance. The injuries. Injuries have definitely dealt with us, especially during game. I feel like we've been one of the most hampered teams during a game this season. I don't think we ran through one game this season without an injury happening, but that shouldn't be an excuse. I do believe that Webby has dropped the ball a little bit on his bench the last 3 weeks, especially starting on that Dragons game. The way he carried Bompe and, those boys there, and he's still carrying Bompe there. I don't agree with it, and I believe he's getting that wrong. I'm also pushing that he might be getting a change late this week. I just looking at our bench look like I think it's going to be a late switch there, but that's just me. Tahi, on point again, bro. Yep, appreciate you, Mamo. Tony T, yep. We had no one straightening our play last week, 100%, and it's wet weather footy too last week, which should be just direct football. That's all it should be. We should never be looking at going wide and doing big shifts. It's just not the way we work, especially in wet weather footy. And again, we had some very stupid moments too, very stupid decisions. Again, the short dropouts that we're running in wet weather footy just made me want to pull my hair out. From everything I've known of wet weather footy, and this is not me saying that I would never even get close to touching the level that these boys are at, but from all my knowledge of wet weather footy, it's all about field position. And we noticed that too in the game where the Knights end up clicking on early, get on that fourth tackle, get kicking behind, turn the boys around. And there was a moment in that game where our back three were starting to get nullified because the amount of work they were trying to do out of the back end to get out of the back end. But then we get put on the back foot in goal, and we made the stupid decision to go for the short dropout. And that really bugged me. And we did that twice with no avail. And obviously all it does, if we get the ball back, we still got a whole 90 meters to go for our set. That doesn't fix what the problem was, is just get the ball out there. I know sometimes it could be tough, obviously with the rain, maybe there was a puddle under the ball. He's still getting some really good service under the ball there for the short dropout. So for me, that's not a big argument. I think we made a lot of stupid decisions in that game. And again, I feel like that also comes down with the collective of the spine at the moment, and it's just no one's gelling at the moment. And I do believe that it's just going to take time, unfortunately. Sat stacking carnivore. Good to see you, my bro. The main thing they need to fix is their discipline. It kills any pressure. 100%. That's another thing too, bro. Those are the little fixes I think everyone's just wanting to see as well. If you look at the stats, we are actually one of the better teams for, conceding penalties and stuff like that. We actually concede one of the least amount of penalties in the competition, which is actually crazy. But I think it's more of the fact of the places we concede our penalties, especially with the game plan that we run. We can't be conceding penalties of letting teams out of their back end. That's really how our game plan is supposed to work. I feel like that's what hampers the team at the moment. We do a lot of work on trying to hold the team down the other end, and then letting off penalties like that. It's just going to put more pressure on the boys, definitely in the back end. Tanya, Gossi, and Mauin. I don't believe in Gossi. It's not that I don't love Gossi. I think Gossi is incredible, but I think he still needs time to get back into form. Gossi hasn't been playing that well in Cup at the moment. And I think, Jacko, he's pointed that out as well. Unfortunately, Gossi's been okay. He was okay last week, but he's still just not there yet. And if you want to fix the problem of errors and stuff like that, unfortunately, he's not really the issue. But Ma'u is definitely one that we could hopefully look at. Laban, I'm hoping, is the late switch because we don't have any other edge cover on the bench, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Tahi, bro, good to see a lot of teams are catching up with injuries and not the teams against. That's another thing, we're coming up against a Roosters team that are getting flooded back with all their injuries, and the suspensions coming back, Spencer Linu coming back and all that. Daniel Tupu coming back, they're just getting all their big boys back. It's crazy. What's going on? Thoughts on Egan playing 80, especially when he's getting peppered in the middle? Yeah, I think that's the position we've been put in, obviously with no Lussick. We hadn't had Paulie Roach there as well. I think he was injured for the last couple of weeks and stuff. So we haven't had any other cover there other than maybe running Dylan Walker there. And we've seen last year, we didn't really like Dylan Walker at that 9 position in our opinion overall. But yeah, I think that I'd love to see maybe Lussick. We'll touch on it a little bit later on, but Lussick maybe finding a way into that bench and really helping out Wade Egan and opening up Egan to maybe more of a 60-minute role and get a really good explosive 60 because he is becoming more of a defensive hooker at the moment instead of his attacking ability, which is what he's more known for. Like he's getting through about 50 tackles a game on average at the moment, and teams are really keying in on him. So definitely need to work on those sort of things. And just lastly, a couple of more guys before I bring Levon on. He is waiting so patiently right there in the backstage. Appreciate you, my bro. Philip, do you think Roger RTS could play right edge back rower? The opposition would not set. Honestly, my bro, like before I end that, like I don't think that's anywhere close to being an option. I really don't. Like honestly, guys, like yeah, that. Like, I appreciate you, my bro. I appreciate you having these thoughts and stuff like that, but I don't think we're in a position right now to think that we're going to change a guy that's only just learning how to play center into just learning how to play edge back rower. That's not going to help our left side attack. Honestly, our left side attack only gets help from our spine. That's the only thing. And Levon James, Freddie back this week. Does he get a call up or swap him for Pompey? Listen, bro, let's touch on that very, very shortly. Levon, I see you in there, brother.
Yo, big up everybody.
What's your thoughts? This chat's going crazy tonight. I love it.
Are they, man? Yeah, what back? RTS to back row? Wow.
Man, hey, I love you, Philip. All positions. Appreciate your comment and all that, but like, yeah, I just
for head coach at WBL. Is that what we're saying?
Well, it's looking like that. You know what I mean? It's looking like that. But yeah, what's your thoughts overall, bro? Coming into this one, what's your last thoughts before we move on to our team list and stuff like that? What's your thoughts overall in tonight's game?
Yo, big up everyone in the chat. Thank you. Thanks everyone, Ash, and and actually, shout out to the Warriors Anonymous boys. I just did a little preview with them. So big up those boys. Awesome to do with them. They're doing really good mahi over there. So shout out those boys. Look, this team list, man. I've looking at it and I'm okay with it. I think Bunty to start is the right move. I'm happy with him starting.
Do you want me to bring it up, bro? I'll bring it up on the screen.
Yeah. Bring it up on the screen there. Yep. Cool. Yeah. So I've got Bunty to start, and I like obviously Jazz being back is awesome. Pompey is obviously Pompey obviously is the big one that everyone's arguing, no doubt. I have no idea what it's. I'm thinking. I've always thought it's more backline.
Yep.
But I don't care about backline. Like, look, I'm going up against Connor Watson, Naufahu White, Spencer Leniu, and Terrell May. Like,
they're big boppers, boy.
Freaking big boppers, bro. So I would just rather go Dylan Walker, Tom Ale, Jazz Devanga, and either Laban or Mayu. I would actually probably prefer Lussick if you're going to go for a bit of cover for like how CHT was covering for Egan.
Yeah.
But everything else for me, it's either Dylan Walker or just figure a way how to do it. Just find something. If it means you have to push forward out some, like we just need some size, man. We really need some size to match Leniu, White, May, and Watson far out.
Yeah.
It scares me. That's the part that scares me. But I going back to the starting team, I think Bunty will be okay. I think he'll do a solid job. And I can see why they went with Barnett. They probably just want to keep, like, it's a massive game. And they probably just want to keep everything tight and simple and keep as much experience on the field. I get that.
Yep.
But yeah. But that's me, bro. What was your thoughts?
See, overall, like, I'm happy with the way we're going at the moment. The bench is definitely the only one for me is like, obviously Adam Pompey getting carried on the bench. I don't agree with it. And like, I love Webby and all his philosophies and his thoughts and stuff, but For me, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a late change. Because it's
Yep.
happened consistently for, how many weeks now. I think every week coming into the season, like he'll go out with this team list here. Me seeing that Jacob Laban's 18th man, I see Adam Pompey's better coverage as an 18th man, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would see maybe a late switch of Laban coming in.
Good point.
Or the big one is Freddie Lussick too. Like Freddie Lussick coming off suspension. The only worry for me with that is our bench does look a little bit small. Like it has, Freddie Lussick covering in that 9 position. Dylan Walker and Jazzy, they'll do a job in the middle, but they are smaller bodies in the middle. Like I believe they'll do a job, but if we carried like a Mai'u or a Laban, it's a bit more size coming off the bench. It just gives that bit more presence.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I think the late change would be Pompey out, Freddie Lussick, if I'm going to bank on anything. I think Lussick will come in because of the amount of work that Wade Egan's getting through, and he's getting knocked around a little
He's
bit.
getting knocked around a bit.
I think surely Webby is seeing that. I honestly do think there's going to be a late change, guys. And that's why I think, I love going onto the Instagram comment section and seeing everyone's thoughts and stuff like that. And everyone's just like, oh my God, what's happening? It's like, just wait until 24 hours before the game. I'm sure there's going to be a good
sure Pompey won't be there. I have to believe that he's not going to be there.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
It could be wrong, though. If I'm wrong, then, bro, like, maybe there's some really big talk around Webby at the moment and his bench rotations, and maybe he's starting to get it really wrong. And that becomes more of a question.
Remember when Kearney used to do this, but he'd have a riff with someone in the team, and like you look at the Sixers, like, what's happening? And then you find out that he's had problems with so and so. I'm like, man, and I know it's not that case with Webby, but you're seeing Pompey come in, and I'm like, what the heck's happening? But
the only other thing I could ever tie it down to was experience. But I think we're covering a lot of experience on the bench currently right now, so that can't really hold up. I believe that carrying one young buck on there wouldn't hurt. Like, especially with the big bench we had. Before that Dragons game, I think there was more validity to us carrying Pompey there for experience because we were running Paulie Roach, looking at Zion coming in that weekend, and Jacob Laban. Like, that was a very inexperienced bench. We had a first gamer, second gamer. You know what I mean? Like, it just looked like we needed some experience on our team. But this week, we have experience. We got players back. Jazzy's come back, which should free up that ability now of like, okay, we can carry maybe a young buck there, or we can run with a Freddie Lussick there. And I feel like that's the way we're going to look at doing.
I think the challenge is, because you have 8 interchanges, right? So say if you did a double interchange, right? You go, that's 2 for AFP and Barnett, and then it's another 2 to bring them back off. So that's 4. So you've only got 3 left. If you do 1 for Dylan Walker and Tohu, and then 1 for Tohu back on, that's 6. I think Webby's trying to keep 1 interchange in the chamber for any type of injury. I can see that because it's 8 is not much, but like he's been pushing. I think he's been pushing. I haven't tracked the interchanges, but from what I'm imagining, it's like he's been trying to do 1 or 2. Like he'll do the first one at the 20-minute, bring Barnett off, and then he'll try to do a late one around the 30-minute to bring off either. Yeah, and he'll leave AFB on. And I'm just almost like, I'm at a point where I'm like, nah, make the double interchanges. Like, keep both of them. Well, Barnett's not there now, but so you're going to probably bring off Bunty at 20 because early in the game it'll be a tough slog. AFB will probably play long minutes again.
I think Tohu's going to be the option to come off first, more so than ads. I think Tohu's getting to a point where it's going to have to
Walker
be a change.
Will come on for him. So that's you're probably looking at. I think Webby's trying to backload a lot of the interchanges, but it's just pushing. Yeah, it's pushing guys to the brink a little bit for me.
Like if I was, because like the biggest thing here too, guys. Like obviously we're not NRL head coaches. We're not with the boys. We don't understand the real cues of everything, and that's throughout everything overall. But if I was to pick my preferred bench right now with everything that's going on, like it would be Dylan Walker, Tom Ale, Jazzy Tavanga, and probably a Zion Mai'u. That's going to be a bit more energy of that front row position if Ads is going to have to come off. Like Jazzy will change the momentum defensively and stuff, but like I would love to see maybe a bigger body do that as well. Or run, like a Jacob Laban, just so we could late switch maybe Barnett to the front row position, run Laban out there. Because Barnett, for me, I prefer him more so now in that front row position just because he's got that freedom just to change the game defensively in that. But I think with the position we've been put in currently with injuries, like he's going to have to probably play an 80-minute role on that edge. So I probably won't see that either. So I think the biggest thing overall is, it's either Freddie or do we run like a Maeu?
Well, I'm just thinking, when have teams been kind of dominating? Like, this is a massive forward pack. We just need to counteract a lot of what they're going to try and do. Like Spencer Linyu just scares me. I'm not sure.
He's eaten us before.
And he's just come back from his suspensions, probably, has he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So great timing. Terrell May is on a tear. He's a great player. Fahu White is all like, we just need something to deal with that bombardment of energy. Yeah, we need a little bit more size, and I just bank on Walker to cover most of that stuff. Even Tahi's saying in the chat, Jazz can cover. Like if we need it, like just that's the other option. Is that if you need to take Egan off, you could just let Jazz run for a little bit. One out stuff. If it's in a grind, like I think probably read it by the game. If it's a super tight game, maybe pull Egan off and just play one out and try and keep, and then maybe bring Egan back on for the last 20. Yeah, there's options there. I just think
there is.
Yeah, I think Webby, if he really thinks about it, he can get away with a forward bench like how they've got.
Yeah. I think when you got someone like Dylan Walker, it opens up those options incredibly. And like I think from the start of the season, we're starting to see that Webby is now more so looking at Walker not as that, I want to put you on a 6. I don't want to put you at a center.
Yeah.
I want you to be that middle, like that energy for the middle. Because like obviously Jazzy was either dealing with injury and stuff like that, who's the other guy that usually is that spark for the middle and brings up the foot speed for the middle. So we're running him more so as that middle guy, and we're taking away what makes him special as well, is that if anything goes wrong, Dylan Walker can cover that, and to trust that everyone else on that bench can do a rotation overall. But yeah, these are all just, off the top of the head, like, as I said, in my opinion, like if we were to run this bench here and drop Pompey out, I would love to have a bigger body there too, just to really withdraw, especially when Spencer comes on. Put someone on there that's wanting to test him, you know what I mean? Wants to go at him. That's a big thing.
How important in the list of priorities is giving Egan a break for you? Are we at a crisis level that he needs his own interchange with the Lussick? Or you think that's not the problem? We can get away with him. We need another forward. Where are you at with that?
I'm thinking it's starting to come close to where we do need to have a double hooker look, because the amount of times the last 3 games now we've been running with Egan, that's been getting up to about 50, 55, 54 tackles a game there. He's considerably dropping off now on his attacking load. Like he's not working with the markers as much as what he used to. And a lot of that could be also, maybe we're not getting the speed of the play the ball and all that, 100%. But I also do think that he's doing a lot of work defensively, which is a struggle now to get back into the line. And really, there was a moment, I think, wasn't it a moment in a Knights game where Egan couldn't get back in that ruck to really work ourselves out of our back end. We had, I think Mitch Barnett played hooker for the first 3 tackles to get us in the field position.
He got back on the
Egan
4th tackle.
There was a moment like that. So those are sort of signs that say to me, like teams that maybe not, how you keyed on to Tommy Turbo targeting him in attack, like, holding in the line. Teams are also maybe figuring out to target him in defense and really go at him, because that limits him in attack. So that fresh legs of a Freddie Lussick and that, maybe there's more validity to the argument of carrying a 2-hooker rotation. So that's maybe another argument to why Freddie might get pushed into this lineup this weekend.
I honestly think at some point they may look at doing Lussick starting. I think there's validity to it. Like there has to be at some. I think the problem with Egan, like he probably could have gone off for an HIA.
He could.
Like he tried it. When these guys get knocked out and they're like, I'm up. It's like your parents trying to wake
there, the perfect time,
your dad's
bro.
about to wake you up and give you a whack if you don't wake up. Yeah, I'm up, Dad. I'm up. No, I'm ready to go to school. Yeah, I'm up.
He did the ones that's like, hold something else other than your head. So hold the shoulder, hold the bag.
No.
I think there is a lot of validity to that argument now. And like, I know to start the season, like Freddie's definitely not our preferred 9. I think Freddie can grow into a good 9. I'd never think that Freddie will grow into an amazing 9.
Yep.
But maybe he's a good enough 9 to maybe bust out that first 20, 30, let the sting come out of the game a little bit, and then run Egan off the bench and that speed up that ruck. It's whether Egan also has the, I'm not going to say ego or whatever, but to be that guy to come off the bench now, you know what I mean, too, instead of being, I'm that starting 9 too, like, Freddie's going to take the step over him. And really, I think that's Webby needs to start looking at that now and have some questions and be like, hey, Wado, this is for your future. I want you here.
It's just about winning, bro.
Freddie needs to start it off.
Let's be honest, like, a lot of us were talking about 2024. This may be the last year for this specific team.
Yep.
Like, we're gonna make some moves, bro. Like, we want to get into finals. I don't think it's a complete write-up. We just gotta start.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
The pressure's starting to build up, and I ultimately think at some point we are going to go to our development guys. There's gonna be a period we're gonna have to sort of. I think the move of JF. Sorry, guys, I'm talking a little bit future on, but I'm just sort of pointing out there is some needs to make some calls to jumpstart. And I said we wouldn't be able to jumpstart, but it feels like we need to kind of get things going. If you're messing with egos, who cares, bro? Let's just get ourselves playing well. And if it works, like, you just have to accept it. If you're not an 80-minute guy, do the right thing by the team. I think they're all like that. I'm just thinking Webby's like trying to. I think Webby's like trying his best to keep this thing together until he's gonna, like, okay, it's go time. But it feels like for us fans, it's like right now.
I just feel like it does honestly have a feeling that he's trying to ride something out until something happens and something comes back and really sparks us again. Like, he's just riding these wheels and he's hoping it gets us to a petrol station. You know what I mean? You got like a car and you're on, like, the engine lights on, like, warning, and you're just testing it out a little bit. And you're just like, I just need to get to a petrol station, but hopefully I pick up a couple of wins in there and it doesn't look as bad. Like, I just have a feeling something's like, I keep going back to Shawnee carrying this injury, coming into every week, not training with the team. I feel like it feels last year we would have just rest Shawnee, but we don't have the ability to do that at the moment. So we're just riding these wheels until something happens, and we're playing a little bit of a risky game there because, like, our cohesion is not coming together because we're not training together as a proper spine. But also when we come out to the weekend and that, it's just we're playing like we're hopefully hoping to get something out of the matchup instead of really dominating the matchup. Like, as I keep saying, like, out of our back end, we get into great field position and that, but then we go through the motions as soon as we get into attacking football. It's like we've done all the hard work. The boys just think, okay, things are just going to happen now instead of just continuing to do the hard work, if that makes sense. So hopefully that's not the case, but yeah, it just feels like that a little bit.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, this is always a tough point, though. I think I saw someone saying in the chat, like, Jack is saying, they might be riding it till the bye round. I think if we remember going into round 11, we were so gassed. We had our sponsor calling out the refs. Like, it was like really quite similar to what it is right now. But yeah, I think after the bye, you make some really big calls. And just egos have to be put in check, bro.
So I was like, my whole thing, bro, is like, at the moment, I want to see us, get to a point where maybe we can scalp maybe one of these games coming into the bye, right? Like, that would be really good. But I want to see improvement out of the squad overall and just see, like, they're working on the things that we want to see, right? But my whole thing is, like, our best part of the draw, and we said it from the start of the season, is that mid to late part of the season. That's our best draw. Like, their run into finals is like one of the best run into finals out of every team in a competition. So we have a very similar look to what we had last year. So we need to start clicking at around the right time as well. But I feel like the thing that's holding me back a little bit now to have reservations is we're now getting to the part where last year even though we're losing in moments, but we still look like we had like some sort of like overarching like combinations coming together, like things are happening, and then Metcalf came in, bang, a spark happened. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like last year. This time, I don't think there's going to be that spark unless Chanel's that spark that we're hoping for, and I don't know if Chanel can be that guy.
Yeah, and that's why I said you can't jump. I don't think you can jump start the season. I mean, you can't. You got to have to fight for each win.
Yeah.
And last week was a perfect example. Actually, bro, I watched the tape a bit more, and I think you're bang on. Like, your analysis of the game. It wasn't that bad of a performance comparatively, and I know we're take out the we're a top 4 team, take out all that stuff right now. The guys didn't actually do too bad. The goal line tech was I've looked at that. That was really poor, but we actually missed a few opportunities.
100%.
We missed the Dallin try and the second try. and then the Jackson Ford potentially could have scored from the chase down, the kick. There were opportunity, like there was different opportunities, and we were on top. So yeah, I think that obviously you watch it again and you kind of just
without the emotions,
without your emotion, and you obviously know the result and stuff. So, but yeah, I took a little bit away. Like the team isn't a bad team. Let's get that straight. It's not a bad team.
No,
it's just a team that's not. It's still doing things good, but it's not doing them great. It's not doing the things that it's really known for. And but for me, we've got to get some speed around the play of the ball. I think we like, if you think about our guys like CNK and Tamaiti, especially, how good were they against the Rabbitohs? Against the quicker play of the ball, they were able to get in support really well. Like, it looked great, and obviously we know how the Rabbitohs are going, but we need something to spark the forward pack a bit to get those quick play, to get Egan activated again. I heard them. The guys always talk about in interviews, they're a cues team, so they take cues.
Yeah.
And if the cues are there, they activate and they all know what to do. But if the cues aren't there, it's So I think those cues from the ruck we're missing that right now. Massively.
Yeah, 100%. I think teams are getting really good at using the wrestle against us too. Like, we came up against the Titans team that, to start the season, has worked on their wrestle significantly. Like, if you actually watch, like, I know Ricky Stewart can go crazy sometimes in a press conference, and sometimes, but there's like still truth to some things that he does say in there. But he was calling out, obviously, Desi's tactics are really getting to the Titans, and how they really learn to wrestle and slowing down the play of the ball. And noticing the game on the weekend with the Knights, the wet game, they were slowing the play of the ball really, really well. They were holding up our boys really, really well. I think the way, like, that's like, looking at the weekend too, like, whenever I see the best parts of our game, it comes down to the players that a lot of people want to change out in our lineup. And it's like, when we come out of our back end, the first hit up usually is Marcelo. Marcelo sets the tone there. Big carry, bang. Usually finds somewhat of his front foot. He can have a spin in his move, whatever. Gets up. Dal gets a little bit of energy there. Bang, he hits it there. Then you see Chance go, yep, this is me. Third tackle. I'm on top of it. Bang. RTS goes, all right, sweet. Fourth tackle. Bang. The boys are already in the 50 to 60. And that's where it needs to carry over, right?
Yeah.
That's the best part of our football game. And that's a lot of football, right? A lot of our worst parts is where the spine are really coming into the fruition in those attacking positions and in those 20s. And they're not building the cohesion and the trust with using their edge back rollers properly and building the looks. Like, they're playing the game plan, but they aren't, if that makes sense. That's why I keep saying, it's like, the game plan's good. Everything about everything going on is good. It's just the boys aren't playing it to the full effect of it. Like, we do everything good other than to that 20. Defensively is a whole different argument. I'd love to see us still pick up on that. But attacking wise, I've been saying it throughout this whole season. Our game plan's there. It's just we need to trust in our spine a little bit more. We need to trust in Tamaiti a little bit more. Maybe give him a little bit more of a rein. He probably needs to communicate more. There's validity to that argument as well. Overall, that's just like my thoughts overall on it is we are good all the way up to a point, and then that's where you're starting to see the cracks of maybe not training with the boys and building the combinations and those little things that put us over the edge and that will score us tries. Like the little things of, like, you watch the Roosters, we see the combinations get put together, flick passes getting put left to right and center, boys are catching the ball. That all comes from them just those reps 1,000 times together in training. That's why the Broncos are so good when they have Reece out back, is Reece can throw those cutout balls, bang, 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 just because he knows that connection's there. He's done it 50 million times. When you're not doing it at training, you're not confident to do those sort of things. So Shawnee's going to go back to old reliable, which is out the back to Chance. Yeah. Out back to Chance. That's old reliable to him, and that's a worry.
And I've got to give credit to Weeby. He's trained us out of very loose play. And actually, if you look at our current form, we need to sharpen everything up and build those reps and combinations because we're struggling to defend errors at the moment. So I totally agree with that. We just need to be a lot more sharper. My gripe with how things are going at the moment, and hopefully they sort it out. But remember the one where RTS tried to pass the ball to Montoya and Inari Tuala knocked it on?
Yeah,
we only did that play once.
I know,
and it's like we try, and this is my gripe with the team, is they try new stuff at the start of games. and then once they get into it, they just go back to the same place.
Yeah.
We do have to work these plays out to open up these other sides and the attack. My only other concern is too, like I think we need to get our middles and that better. If you remember the Souths game and previous games as well, we were really good at pinning teams down early on in the game. We could get into our grinded out style. If you've noticed our team, we're struggling. We might not get a grinded out set until the 20, 30th minute sometimes.
Yeah.
A really strong set where that we keep them in their 30. And that for me is a little bit of a concern. It doesn't mean that the game plan can't work. It just means the boys, and you talked about tackle tech. They're slowing our play the balls down for sure. And when I'm watching the tape, ours are taking it forever to get up.
Yeah.
And it's not like it shouldn't be 6 again all the time. It's
That's
laboured. Whereas theirs is very sharp. Like we're tackling, but we're not locking it up, like fully.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things I'm really thinking about. But yeah, hopefully we can kind of sort these things out.
100%, man. Like I think it's a couple of little things. I think that Webby has tinkered a little bit with a lot of people not seeing it. Like I do believe that we've had strong starts to start the season, so maybe he's told the boys to just ease into the game a little bit easier, so those first 30 aren't that explosiveness of holding a team down the end. And like you've seen, obviously, as you said, that Knights game, it did feel like the Knights were getting a lot of good traction early on in that game, and I was like, okay, maybe the boys are backloading the energy a little bit more. Maybe there's a little bit of over tinkering there as well. Like I believe there's tinkering in behind the scenes that people don't notice that could become over tinkering as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I believe that there's times where this team goes really, really well, and we've seen it in every contest this year. But then there's times where we fall completely off the pace, and that's the moments we need to change, because I think that's just energy. And for me, that was the most worrying sign out of that Knights game, is it felt like we lost our energy. There was moments in that Titans game where I was like, we're on, like everything's happening, especially late in the game, trying to come back. That Knights game, even when we were trying to like click it over again, it felt like that loss of energy. I don't know if it was just the wet weather footy. I don't know what it was there, but it just looked something I was so frustrated at. And it was the first time I've been completely frustrated throughout this whole season. You know what I mean?
No, there's definitely the team. I think when you do get sick in your syndrome, I think, and especially in a system like this, where it is, and let's be honest, it is a lot of the same thing a lot of the time. It works, it's proven to work, but it is difficult. Especially look at the back rowers, the amount of tackles they have to do. The energy it takes out of Egan to be able to play this type of style, and that's where my thing with is that you have to use these young guys to take some of the energy out of the older guys. I totally agree with you, brother. The other thing I was thinking about Tamari a little bit, I was thinking he just needs maybe 1 or 2 tackles where he just goes at the line himself.
Yeah,
I feel like he needs like a dopamine. When I know when we played footy, you'd always take the first hit up, or instead of passing wide straight away, you just go and get tackled. And feel
it's the classic one, yeah, bro.
Feel feel getting tackled and like, I'm in the game now, and then everything just sort of starts for you. I think to my man, just don't pass, just go into the tackle, do a little bit of a step, just get the feel for the game, and maybe that things will start to I don't know.
You're pretty bang on that, bro, because I remember, like, again, with my footy days and stuff, it's like I never knew I was in the game unless I had that big hit up off the back fence, off a kick return or something like that. And then I got snaps and I felt my back crack. If I felt my back crack, I know I'm loosened now. I'm like, okay, I've felt your biggest hit. Like,
not break back Mountain, is it?
Yeah, bro. Oh, don't you dare. The chat's going to run with this now. No. But that's 100% right. And I feel like a lot of the best halves in the competition say that a lot now too. You know what I mean? It's like, there's 2 ways to unlock their game overall. It's first of all, defensively, getting in front of a player and like freeing yourself up. Usually things come if you defend really well. And also if you attack the line first off and really give the option of, I'm going to attack you first, and then I'm going to go through my looks and that later on, and just build that confidence in yourself of like, I can do this. I can pull the strings when I want to. I can dummy on you and you can't do anything about it. I can go out the back. you get the confidence in yourself. And I feel like, Andrew Johns has said that, Jonathan Thurston said that, a lot of the big halves in the game say very similar things.
Yeah.
I think Tamade maybe needs to take that, because I think Metcalf has that ability of, he's very run first centric, Metcalf.
Yeah,
He always has
he'll
been,
take a run. He's happy to take a run.
He's
The
happy to
other,
take
the
a
other
run.
one is like we've talked about using the back rowers, like get them touches early, like just short ball underneath, whatever.
Yeah.
What you're saying is like we were too quick to try and go through the hands and do all our plays.
Yep.
Just build pressure, eh? Like we're not building the right type of pressure at times.
No.
Yeah.
It was always well known about the Panthers' old game plan of they just kept turning their edge back rollers back under, and it really wears in that middle, and the middle has to do the extra load of defending all the players out of their own end, and then also defending all the players down the other end. And the Panthers benefit on that later on in the game where, those middle defenders are struggling to cover, you know what I mean? And we lack that a little bit. We lack the punch of just going short, just keeping with the motion, and then understanding that key on like certain things is what makes a halfback special is, watching shoulders of, the defenders there. If the shoulders are turning out, hit short, the shoulders turning in, go out the back. That only happens if you have that threat of that edge back row really running. And I feel like a couple of people are really noticing it now that maybe we are missing a near quarter, and maybe that's the reason why we're running Jacko on that right side is we believe that maybe he's the better, the bigger body that's supposed to be that hard hitting edge back rower. But Near Quarter is definitely that guy. You know what I mean?
I think as well they're forcing it. Like, did you see the one where they tried to play Adden out the back on the right side?
Yeah,
it wasn't on. It wasn't activated. There wasn't any cues to activate it.
No.
Like, again, they were going again. They were forcing plays instead of structurally, building the attack
and dissecting. Yeah,
and being and that's where my frustration was. It wasn't it. Yes, they went right all the time, but they didn't have a reason to go right.
Yeah,
they had more reason to actually go left a lot of the time, but they just were just so focused on that side. Yeah, sorry, man, you're getting hit up. Sorry,
I've just seen. I was like, I'm trying not to look.
Big up everyone in the chat, man.
But it's 100% right, bro. If we don't end up getting that look to happen, we'll never get an outside look. Like every team in a competition, no matter how like people say that people play front foot footy or eyes up footy, every team in a competition have a structured game plan. They just hit it on positions of the field and all that sort of stuff, right? They earn the right to play football out the back, and we just haven't earned the right there yet. Like if we're gonna go right, if we're gonna go left, we got to earn the right to do that first. Like, hit short, create those looks. Like, that was the best part of our season, late last season with Shawnee. That Sharks game where everyone was noticing the double lead, the late Sharks game. Yep. That was when everyone sort of picked up like, this double lead thing is hectic. And now every team's trying to run it at the moment.
Yeah, Roosters did it. Yeah.
Yeah, the way Shawnee worked that game I think his first lead was the short ball. The second one he did across the face to Berry, and then the next one out the back to Chauncey. He was keying in on the defenses there. This is what I mean with him not at training and that. It legit looks like he's not keying in on those things. He's just going out the back, and that's a worry for such an experienced campaigner as well. And it's like, I'm hoping this injury is not hampering him and going through the motions. That's what I'm like. That's my whole argument to everything that everyone wants changes. Is like, I don't think the change is going to help. Our main player right now, Shawnee, is going through the motions, and that's our key to our attack.
You know what I mean? And that's like, let's be honest, people. Before last year, that was. I think Sean is when he gets frustrated, it can get a bit like this.
Yeah,
no doubt there is a bit of frustration, whether it's his injury or guys aren't performing around him. Like last year, you could see when he was frustrated, but it was like a positive, like, come on, guys, we can do this. It was like, and I think the energy last year was very much like that. You felt like guys like AFB and that were like, come on, man, you got to be better, bro. We can do this. We can win the comp. But it's almost like now it's like the same old dudes making the same mistake. Yeah, it's a little bit of that.
Yeah,
like, oh man, this guy's still, and I think that's where we're not. I'm just looking. I'm just watching how much attack they did right, and I'm like, you guys aren't even thinking anymore. You're not in sync with each other. You're not. That's a concern because I don't want that Sean to come back. We all know that Sean. It's not a happy Sean.
No.
we want the Sean that's like, positive. But yeah, I think they just honestly, before we get to a review, but it's what I've been thinking about is like they just need to block out everything top four, block out all the noise, and just really focus in on this game.
Yep.
And winning this game. Like,
yep.
I think maybe more of that stuff might have got to the head. They're probably wondering, why isn't this working? There's all those doubts and questions. Just block out all the noise while you're in Sydney this week and just really focus in.
Yeah.
On your prep, on everything that you need to do, and just focus on winning this one game. I don't even think about the future.
Yep.
That's for us fans to debate, but for them, I would just be, and that's where I'm trying to kind of reset the whole thing. And that kind of needs like to be either trimmed back or just like refocus. Like, okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Yep.
Let's get everyone back on the same page. But yeah,
I think you're 100% right, bro. And overall, like, I think we need to earn the belief. We can't just walk into a season with the belief. And, that Sharks game last year, there's well noted that we earned the belief in that night. The first Sharks game, Shawnee's been saying about that was the moment where he looked at everyone around the group and said, we can do this. I don't think we've had that result yet, or like a hard game that we've been pushed to the brink and we got over the edge. I think the Manly game was the closest thing to that. And I feel like if the Manly game went our way and we end up getting that field goal at the end, maybe that could have changed everything around a little bit. You know what I mean? That seems to be the pivotal part at the moment. I think when we got to the big moments of that game, we crumbled a little bit, and maybe that was a little bit, everyone's looking around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If this is the game here, maybe this goes down to the wire. The boys pull it out late. And then, Shawnee gets back on the mic again. He's like, I looked around everyone. We pulled it out. We done it. And then we earned the belief of like, this team's got something. And then we can grow off that. And that's when the energy builds. You know what I mean? I think we've lost that a little bit. And we're scrambling to get it back. That's a big thing.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, my bro. So you want to move on to the combined 17, my brother?
Yeah, I don't really want to. Yeah, let's do
it. This could be the first time that it gets.
Oh man, I was looking before this. I was like, oh nah, I don't want to do this.
As we know, guys, as me and Levon have touched on with most of our shows and that, I think the best way I can really explain it to us doing our combined 17s and stuff is honestly, we're trying to build the best team possible with our lineups here. So we're playing left winger on left winger, not the matchup left on right. We're playing like, who's the best left winger out of these two teams here, if that makes sense. We're trying to make the best team possible with the two teams we're giving us. And I think that's the reason why Levon's sitting here and going, oh no, here we go. Is this going to be the first week we go non-Warriors centric? Who knows? We'll see how we go. All right, might as well start off, man. It's a big matchup here. Obviously, we got New South Wales captain, Australia captain, James Tedesco versus the Kiwi, almost Golden Boot winner in the Pacific Championship, Charles Nicoll-Klokstad. What's your thoughts overall? Who do you kind of rate more so out of both these boys? Both got a high work rate sort of game in that, but where do you sway more so at the moment?
It's Tedesco. I've watched a bit of the Brisbane game, and he's really fit at the moment. He looks like he's almost had a really good off season, and he's in shape. He's just on a tear right now, and yeah, I definitely got to go him. Despite Chan's doing well, I think Tedesco looks better. Obviously in a better team on current form, but he's having a big impact still. Yeah, that's for me. That's where I'm at right now.
I got to completely agree with you, my bro. We're going to go off with like experience. The guy's been in the league for how long? He's been up top of the game for so long. I think it's a game that maybe Chance looks at and tries to replicate as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much a Tedesco type of game. So I got to go James Tedesco there. Hopefully this doesn't start the Roosters sort of matchups here. But anyway, next up, we got left side wingers. So current left side wingers right now, we've got Marcelo Montoya versus Daniel Tupou. Obviously, Daniel Tupou playing on the left side, and we got Marcelo Montoya that plays on our left side. Who is your preferred winger out of these two boys here, my man?
Tupou. I think Tupou. I haven't watched him, but I just know he's a good player. He's a New South Wales player. I thought he's really good when he played for New South Wales. Tall, strong, good in the air, good finishing. Yeah, just cut above for me from Montoya.
Yeah, I got to agree there too. And, this is not bashing Montoya or anything anyway. We're talking about like a Blues representative. Like we're talking
Yeah, just
about
class.
like one of the most consistent wingers in the competition right now. He's got like the game to take balls off, like, the crossfield kicks. He gets out of the back end easy. He defends so well. He's just a class winger, bro. He's one of the best wingers in the comp, in my opinion. So, moving on to our left side center. So currently our left side center, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and the Roosters left side center currently right now, Joseph Suali'i. Who you got out of those two boys there, my bro?
I'll probably go Suali. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched much of him, but I just know he's. Yeah, I just think he's. Roger isn't having the greatest time yet here as a center. A lot of his work, he's been doing great yardage work, but not as. We need us a bit more at the center position, but I just know Suali's probably doing a lot better. And in this situation, I'll probably go Suali.
So out of these two boys, I kind of replicate these guys very similar in my way. Like, Suali'i to me doesn't suit that left side center. And if you watch Roosters games in that last season, it was very evident that he was not a left side center. I feel like he's grown a little bit more this season. He's got more confidence in his game and that. I feel like we haven't given Roger the best opportunity to really shine that center role. He doesn't get a lot of ball into those one-on-one looks on the edge to really create the 2-on-1 situation, stuff like that. But like, we got a work rate, I'll sway to Roger. But overall, at the moment as a left side center, you got to go Suali'i on form right now. He gets a lot more opportunity to show off his form. I think Roger's form is all, work rate, and that's really the way I kind of see it. So I would just say Suali'i, but like, I do believe that we need to start like just allowing Roger to grow in this position and just give him time here, because, I believe there is a viable position for him in that left side center if we use him properly.
His defensive work's been good, man. Like,
unreal.
One-on-ones have been really good. You can't fault him for any real leaked tries. I mean, this week will be a massive test.
100%.
There's just no way they're not going to use Joey Manu.
I can't wait.
But it would be great if he does a good job. But yeah, I think he's doing just on the defensive side of the ball. He's been good, and in the yardage game, we know what he's done really well. But yeah. We need to get him a try. We hopefully get him a try this weekend, man. That would be. Again, we're talking about endorphins and dopamine. Just getting over the line as a center will do wonders from, I think. And it's like a lot of our guys, they just need to score points to get that confidence up a little bit.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next matchup of right side center. We're going to go here with Rocco Berry versus Joey Manu. I think this one's a pretty simple one. Joey Manu is an absolutely incredible player and all that. But where do you kind of sway on this argument here? I think,
Joey,
obviously,
you gotta get Joey, man.
100%.
Just class at the moment. He's having a good season too.
Berry,
in terms of Berry, he's probably been a little bit flat. I don't think his confidence is down. I just think the grind of how things are going at the moment, he's not obviously, then their whole right side isn't doing so well in attack. I think defensively he's still sound, but yeah, I think obviously the Roosters are in a better team. Manu's a better player, of course.
Yeah.
But I still love what Rocco's doing. Yeah.
100%. It's kind of hard to really have these guys as a matchup because Joey Manu is just. He's honestly either the best or one of the best centers in the game. He's got to be top 3. Like, I would say he's probably the best center in the game. So, Rocco, hope he needs time to get there. You know what I mean? You can't say Rocco over Manu right now, and I think that'd be a crazy take overall.
Yep.
Last little matchup here, we got the battle of the haircuts, my man. I love this one here. We got the dreads of the Dominic Young, the Rastafari. I love that one. Or we got Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, the mullet man.
Yeah,
bro, Munaway, baby, Munaway. Yeah. Who would you, if you were to pick a Warriors, if you were to take a winger out of this Rooster team right now, Dominic Young's on the market, would you choose him over Dallin right now?
Yeah, I would. Yep.
You would?
Yep.
Yeah. I would have to say yes. And I think the only thing that will put me over that argument as well too is the speed that Dominic Young possesses is something that we kind of do lack a little bit in our side.
Can I ask you, brother, how many tries has Dallin got this year so far? Remember we did our overs unders?
Oh yeah, we're well off on that, bro. We're well off on that, bro. I was hoping you didn't bring that up.
No, I just remember that one.
Nah, it's good,
For
bro.
those OG followers of the stream, we did it overs unders.
Is that 5, bro? Is that 5 this season? That's actually surprising to me.
Yeah. I thought
Out of
maybe
8 games, he's had 5 tries. You know what I mean? That's actually hectic.
Not too bad, but yeah, and they've all been tough. They've all been tough.
But out of the two, I got to go Dominic Young, man. His speed, bro, is on a different level. His speed, bro.
Yeah, the top end speed, eh? And the breakaway. If you think about it, like I was watching, who's the guy? Giorgio, the guy, the speed guy.
Not Roger Fabry.
Yeah, Fabry, and he's talking about the difference between speed and fast, and quick. Yeah. See, I think Dallin is quick, probably, whereas I think Dominic's like fast. So his top end is really, really good too.
Yep.
Which just puts him on another level for me. Yeah.
It's like a Jason Saab, bro.
Saab. So he was saying Reece Walsh is quick, but Saab is fast.
Yeah, Saab is fast.
So like Reece Walsh is good in the 20-meter range, but then Saab will chase him down over 80 meters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Reece between the 10 to 20, like the 10-meter mark, he's going to burn everyone. But like we've seen it with Reece, like, you know, when we played under us, you know, the big intercepts he'd get, and then he'd get chased down by him and Lukey at the Cowboys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you won't ever see that with, like, you know, Jason Saab and stuff. You know what I mean?
No, they're gone.
Unless you got Philip Sammy or something running them down. But overall, like, you know, I would give a little bit of credit too back to Dal. Like, if you're actually going to look at both these wingers, I feel like Dominic Young, more so for me, is more of an inconsistent winger. Like, he can have these blinders of games. He's still yet to get that out of his game. He has a lot of errors in his game as well too, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on coming to the weekend. So that's maybe Dal has errors in his game, but I feel like sometimes Dal is a little bit more sturdier. But Dominic's speed and his ability, his athletic ability, puts him over the top of Dal in my opinion.
How tall are these that back line? Apart from Teddy,
tall, bro. Was it
Tupou,
6'4" or something?
Manu, they're all like 6'3" or 6'4".
196.
I mean, our guys aren't too bad either, but like those guys are just monsters, eh?
You see that 200 centimeters? God damn. Yeah, Dominic Young, 200 centimeters tall, bro. Ugh.
A 6 foot something, 3 maybe.
What's Monty? 189. Monty. He about as tall as me. That's crazy.
6
Brother
foot.
is.
They're not small. They're not small guys, but you know, it's like, man, you just think of those guys, they just look like monsters.
Well, that complete back line's full of monsters, bro. Like, you know, Manu's up there in that 6'3" range. Suli's around that range. Like, they're just athletic phenoms. And the Roosters just, this is the way it is. But moving on to the halves battle, my bro. So this one's I feel like this one's a really, really good one. For me, out of these 4, I'm taking Tamade Martin out of this one. And now it's up to Sean Johnson, Sam Walker, and Luke Keary. Yep. Unless you have different thoughts there. But who would you pick out of those 3 to be the best halves combination out of these guys here?
Sheesh. It's a tough one. I know Walker's doing really well. I still take Sean. For me,
I do. Yep.
So I'll take Walker. I think he's got. I like his off the cuff style. Plays with a bit of freedom. That's what we're needing right now. Yep. Yeah, I'd take Walker for mine.
Yeah, current form, I'll take Walker. If we're going like obviously, you know, over the career and stuff like that, Luke Keary, we're looking at like short side raids as a 6. Like Keary is suited, like, you know, Sam Walker can play 6.
Yeah, true.
But you know what I mean. But like, Sammy Walker, bro, off the cuff. I'm sure if we get him on the out the back play, he'll sum up those options really well. Like that halves combination of Sean Johnson, Sam Walker. Ooh. If Sean can get him into
I like
field
it because Sam Walker, he's not afraid to take anything risky. Give them a good pack and they'll be good for it. Yeah.
But I think that's close though. Like you could go Shawnee Keary for me, and you can go Shawnee Walker. I just don't. Unfortunately, like I love Tamade, but I just don't think Tamade is on that level yet.
Ruru saying JWH 300th game. Holy crap!
Mm-hmm.
With the amount of how long has this guy been playing? Because he's had about
so long.
How many suspensions has he had?
Yeah, bro.
You could probably have the record right now for most. Because what did Cam Smith get up to? Did he get up to 400?
He got 400. Yeah.
Sheesh. I'm sure he's missed a couple of seasons through suspension. Old Hargraves.
He's been around for years, man. He's been around for years.
Oh, good on him, like keeping himself in shape, and you know, like mate, that's insane.
As I say, his debut, his debut 2009.
Holy crap! What, he's been playing for 15 years? Imagine if he
In
didn't,
the middle.
bro. If he didn't if he didn't have all those suspensions,
Up
he'd be
there, bro.
close to
400 gamer.
350. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro. Especially in the middle too, and for like what his game is. You know what I mean? He is that alpha dog. I want to bash you up and all that sort of stuff. Like
Yeah.
to do that for 300 games and like could be more. Like and your body not fall apart on you. Yeah, that's nasty.
But
But
yeah,
we're gonna
let's
go
run
to
the
big
party.
matchup here. Hardgraves versus Adam Fanor Blake, bro. Who are you going out of those two boys there up front?
Fanor Blake for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. No, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Hargraves, yeah, he's good. He's solid. Enforcer. I mean, it'll be a big battle physically. Like
Oh yeah.
Collins and Hargraves aren't afraid to muscle up and put a hit on. So yeah. But yeah, no, definitely for Adden right now. He's just still very like I said. He'd be the one to quit on the team because he's going somewhere else. But this guy's just true professional.
He stands up every week.
Yeah, bro.
100%. All right, moving on to hooker, bro. We got the Cheese versus Wade Egan, my bro. Who would you prefer as a hooker currently right now?
I gotta go Smith. I mean, Wade is just. I feel for him. He's not in the greatest of spots. The team isn't going well. To be honest, though, I'd still take Wade based on like the skill set I want in a
Of
hooker.
a hooker? Yeah.
Yeah, Cheese is a toilet, and some of his option taking isn't the greatest. His pass isn't the greatest.
No.
He's a bit of a meathead at playing hooker, really. But yeah, I'll take that back. I'll take Egan for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying Wade Egan mainly on the hooker skill set overall. But like as a football player, I love the Cheese. Like, I think that's what we both kind of agree on, eh? Like, as a football player, the Cheese, like his energy, his work rate, his defense, stuff like that. But as a hooker, Wado, deceptiveness out of the ruck, passing game, like what a hooker is supposed to do. He probably does it as a better click than Cheese.
Yep.
Moving on to prop, bro. Lindsay Collins versus Bunty Afala. I feel like this one should be a very quick one for me, but
yeah, I mean, I love Lindsay Collins, but
don't you dare.
Oh no, it's just night and day. All I'll say is Bunty, just stick to your game plan, eh? That's all you can do. Lindsay Collins is another tier of prop.
Yeah.
And Lindsay is just a workhorse. But he definitely wins that matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Lindsay there too, my bro. Queensland rap, baby. Moving on. I had to throw that out there. Moving on, we're going to go left side edge back rower. So currently left side edge back rower is Angus Crichton. And judging on the way I'm thinking from last week, I think Mitch Barnett will probably play on that left side unless there's talk about anything else. Is there any other talk you reckon?
Yeah, probably will play the left side.
He play left. So we're going to go Angus Crichton versus Mitch Barnett.
Yeah,
this is tough for me.
I'll take Crichton.
Yeah.
He had a great game last week. Yeah, I don't know. I want to give Barnett, but really seeing Barnett as a middle guy. Like I would have liked to see Collins versus Barnett. But now that's on the edge. Yeah, I'll probably give Crichton just the edge there.
And this is what makes it tough on me, bro, is the exact same argument. Like, as an edge back rower, I'm going Angus Crichton every day of the week. Like, as a player through the middle, like Mitch Barnett, I love Mitch Barnett. But if we're going this matchup, left side edge back rower, Angus Crichton at the moment is getting back into that form that we all knew and love about Angus Crichton in the past, or we hated if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
Right side edge back rower, Nat Butcher versus Jacko Ford, my man. Where you head at?
Nat Butcher. I just think he's a good player. I hate Nat Butcher. He's one of the top. The guy, the way he lies on the rack, he does every possible cheap shot, every little trick in the book. But he's good at it. He's really good at it.
Yep.
Jacko is kind of, I think he's just like a lot of our guys. I think he's just going through something at the moment. Kind of maybe plateaued a little bit. I'll go Butcher there.
Yeah, I'll probably sway. I'm going Matt Butcher 100% at the moment, but I honestly do think that Jacko probably has the ability, like the potential to be better than a Nat Butcher, like on his day, everything going right. But it's the consistency thing with forward that he has to get into touch with at the moment, and that's where Nat Butcher kind of strives. He's just an 8 out of 10 every game, and out of nowhere, he's starting to have 10 out of 10 games too. So he's definitely in form currently right now. And at the 13 battle currently right now on the market, if you had Victor Radley on the market, would you take him over Tohu Harris right now?
Yeah.
And take,
yeah,
would you?
Yeah. I just think Tohu's just a bit tired. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched, actually, I can't even comment really on it. I'll trust you on this one. I haven't really watched much Victor lately.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with Victor is there's a reason why you haven't noticed a lot of Victor.
He's there on the field. Yeah, he's in suspension mode, isn't he?
I think there's an argument there if like you're going to sway away between the two. Like I think Tohu will be there for you every game. Will give you 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Victor, he has some incredible games out of him, and if he stays on a football field and plays out a football like game and all that, like he has such a high potential. But if you're going to keep making silly decisions, unfortunately, I can't put you there at the moment, and that's why I swayed away at Tohu. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I'll trust you on that. Yep. Yeah. No, fair enough.
This one's going to be a really tough one for us Warriors fans and that, because I honestly do think that the Roosters bench is like incredible at the moment. So what is your best 4 players to create a bench out of this lineup here, my bro? We got Connor Watson, White, Spencer Leniu, and May. You got Dylan Walker, Tom Ale, Jazzy Tovanga, or Adam Pompey. Who's your best 4?
Yeah, I'll probably go Terrell May and Leniu, my main guys.
Yep.
Dylan Walker, my utility.
I agree.
And I'll take Connor Watson as well for the injection off the bench.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
I can't disagree with you there at all. I think like out of all the like Spencer's like, you know, game-changing ability is on a different level. Like we have Jazzy at the moment and Dylan Walker that have that ability for us, but just not on the same level. Like Spencer's known to be that momentum guy off the bench. Terrell May has grown leaps and bounds ever since I first saw him in a competition. Like when people are starting to say he was really, really good, I was like, I need to start knuckling down and watching more, because from what I knew in the past, like I'd never seen this out of, you know, Terrell May, but he's grown leaps and bounds, looks incredible. I've actually really enjoyed a lot of Nafahu White's game at the moment. I think
he's a good game. Really, he got selected Kiwis as well. He's a good player.
Good little player. But if I was to pick it, I got to have Dylan Walker there, and I love Connor Watson. So Connor would be my 14. Dylan would be my more 13 like rotation there, and my 2 big boys would be Spence and Terrell. I completely agree with you there. So overall, I'm not even probably going to count that, but I think that was a majority slide to the Roosters.
Yeah.
Overall, and I think that's been our first time this season, my bro. And like, I think that just shows kind of where we're at the moment. You know what I mean? But I think the Roosters are a team though, comparatively to all the best like big teams in the competition. On paper, they've always been one of the better looking sides on paper. And I think this is the biggest thing with the Roosters is the Roosters are still yet to, they're in form right now, but they're still yet to show everyone they're consistent to go 3 games on a trot, 4 games on a trot right now. You know what I mean? And we have an opportunity here to really change our season and really change the view on us right now. And I think the ability of the Roosters paper on lineup, if we get over the top of them in this game, is going to do wonders for the season. It's a lot easier said than done. But this is the moment now. We need to start looking at these games and going, okay, you said to start the season, we got to beat big teams. This is a big team.
This is it, man.
There's nothing bigger.
Like, and I think this is really good to do a combined 17. Like, none of our guys, the majority of them, I think we gave 1 to SJ and Adam, Egan, and Tohu.
Yep.
So 4 out of 17 guys. The rest, the other 13, like we are definite underdogs here, and I think 100%. We need. And so that's great. That's great for us. Yo, big up Killer, man.
Killer, what's going on? Bro, you are incredible. I actually watched the stream last night, Levon, and I saw Killer just dropping gat. Bro, you are unreal, man.
Thank you, Killer.
I don't know where you come from.
We appreciate you, brother. And like all the stuff that you're doing, I know it's we don't ask for it. We appreciate it out of the bottom of our hearts. It's going to help the channel grow, bro, and we appreciate 100%. That, Killer. 20 piece. Hey. I hope so, my man. We would love that. But no, bro, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Honestly, it means the world to me, bro. Like,
yeah, we appreciate the support. Thank you, Killer. You don't have to, but we love it. And thank you. We will continue to do what we do. Yeah, bro. Back to what else is like. Again, this is the first time genuinely where we're outnumbered and we're outclassed. We're away from home. This has to be this just has to be a great moment. You're underdogs. You're not expected to win.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be on the bookies. You shouldn't even be close to winning it
Yep.
based on current form. Why not just go and play free, and like I said, just focus, block out all the noise, just really lock in. I think the weather's going to end up being okay as well.
Oh, okay. I checked it earlier before. There was rumors that it was going to be raining, but hopefully it is.
It might clear, which is we need a dry track. I think there's validity to us that we are not the best, and we're the footy.
Yeah.
Line speed is just really laboured. So if it is a dry track, that would be great for us as well. But yeah, we're underdogs, man. This is like, and let's just take all the noise out around the game, and I think, man for man, just aim up, and I think trust the process. Like make sure that we're getting the cues and not forcing it.
Mm-hmm.
All those things, all the little details, but hopefully, they're I know they're away from family. It can be tricky, but you're all together as a team, man. You got more time to talk about things. You're not sleeping with, but you're sleeping in the same room,
exactly.
as guys, and you can talk about ideas, concepts. Like this is perfect time to come in, and get a win when teams aren't expecting you to. Yeah.
100%, bro. I got to add on top of that, this is the moment right now. This whole month is definitely season defining to a lot of people right now too, like overall. But, if we're going to take this one game at a time, this is those sort of games that if we get over the top of the Roosters can kickstart our season. I said it a couple of times already, but I honestly do believe that, we got two big games. That's what we should be excited about. I know we have been underperforming, a little bit underwhelming, but these are the games we should be excited about because these are a big squad that we should come up against and hopefully take it to them. Even if, if we come down, we get the loss of the day, I'll really want to see just us take it to them to the last second. I'd love a win, 100%. I just want us to take it to big squads like this and show energy, show we're up for the battle, and really get back to what we were early on the season, late last season. We were the team of what people were thinking we are. Because by everything we've seen, you've seen the Rugby League eye test and all that, bro.
Yep.
Have you seen? Amazing work, man.
Yeah,
Anyone, go check him out.
Yep.
Unreal. By all the stats, by everything, we're right there. I know sometimes it doesn't look like it. Sometimes I'm like when we're watching eye test, like on the actual game and that, but we are a couple of tweaks away from being a really, really good side. That's why we need to stick solid with the boys and just get around them. And my last little thing I really want to say about like overall is the way we're going, and that is the only way that Webby can sit down with people and tell them to, there's things you need to change in their game is if we use them and, to learn to trust them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shawnee, use Jacko. If he drops it 3 times, Webby can watch that tape. Why are you dropping the ball? What are you doing here? Where can we fix up the game? If you're not going to use him, there's not going to be any tape of what Webby can fix up here because you're just not using him. You know what I mean? Tamade Martin, same thing. Call for the ball, overcall for it. You get it wrong, all goods, bro. Come back again, try again. Webby's got all the weekend to watch film and understand where you're getting it wrong. That's the way things go. You can only learn if you continue to try and understand that every loss is a lesson. And if you don't even try to shoot, you can't score. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing of like, if you want to take dating analogies, you know what I mean? If you don't shoot, you don't score. Like if you don't want to talk to the girl that you like, she's never going to talk back to you. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
That's the big thing overall, bro. But may as well end us off, bro, with more so, what's our preview for the matchup this weekend? Any scoreline predictions? Any try-scoring predictions that you're going to throw out our way, bro? And anything that, is catch your eye? Where do you think we're going to go well and, where the Roosters going to go well here?
Just Tahi and anyone that's asking about that article, I just chucked it in the chat there. Really good guy. It's a read, it's an article, so read through it. But he's really good if you guys stay in touch with him. He's on Twitter. He's obviously got his own website, and have a read through that. Really good stuff.
We need to know where he gets his stats from too, bro. We need to know.
He's a guy that probably would be good for us to get on the channel.
we'll work towards that.
Yeah. Work towards and get him on and have some questions for him and how he works out his stuff, because I know that will benefit a lot of us as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, jump on that. Yeah, and Damo's saying it is top tier, and one of I would have to ask him.
Wonder that too.
He must work in IT or in statistics, because he must have his own formulas and where I don't know where he's getting all that info from, but he's the one I was talking about. Expected tries. It's pretty much expected tries.
Yep.
So yeah, now have a read through that, people. But for me, look, I'm going to just play the averages. I think Dallin will score a try. I think he will eventually get over the line. Can we get another middle try? I think so. So maybe AFB. But I would love to see that left edge get something. If it's Montoya or RTS, they're just due for something. They're just due for a try. And I'd love to see us kind of get into our shape early. We've got time now. I think we've got, like I said, the guys are in camp pretty much together. There's time to work on plays, talk through things. So hopefully we see a bit more. And if you remember the try against the Roosters last year, where it was like a trick play. He went right and then he shifted left, and then he passed it back into CNK. It might have been, I can't remember who it was, and they scored.
Is that left side shift where we went
right.
outside, inside?
Inside.
Egan scored?
Yeah. That we needed one of those. You need one where you just catch them off guard. Like you need whether it's a kicking behind early in the count, kind of what Canberra did, or something. You just need a kind of a try just out of the blue to kind of to counter sometimes the refs, because you need a couple spare in the chamber to account for the bunker. But I still believe the magic number is 24. I'm happy with, even in a wet weather footy game, we kept the Knights to 14. So we need to keep it to a minimum. For me, it's like a 24-20 if we're going to win. That's pretty much scoreline. If it's even lower than that and we win a tight one, I'm happy with that as well. But I just think there's just too much strike in that Roosters team
to hold out.
You just 100%. Can't hold that out. And if you you got to be super tight. Like how teams have been playing with high percentages against us, like 90% completion rate. We're gonna have to be really on top of us. But I honestly, I believe in this team. I don't fear the Roosters. I know they're very good, but these boys have been in the finals. We've had big games. They need to get over these teams. I'm dying to beat a quality team. That's actually, if you're thinking about Webby, you can put one thing on him. He hasn't beaten a quality team. So for his own sort of thing, these boys need to get over this one. This is a stacked team, like we did the combined 17. We're underdogs for sure. Bro. If we get one over these guys, we can start to really move. Yeah,
100%, bro. I'm pretty much gonna follow your tail there, bro. Like honestly, if I was gonna throw up a score line, it was around that 24-20 mark. I'll go 26-20, maybe 22-20. It's gonna be really, really close. I think it's gonna come down to very late. I feel like the best way we can really attack this game is a lot of the way that a lot of other teams have been attacking us, especially like the Dragons and all that sort of stuff, is to get into the grind, complete high, and really work ourselves into this matchup here. Understand to back our defense, because that's going to really bring us home in this matchup overall. Especially being a free-flowing attack that the Roosters have at the moment. The best way you can really combat that is to be as strict as you can on defense and have their errors and all that turning behind. It's the best way to beat the Broncos. It's the best way to beat the Roosters. The Roosters did it to the Broncos last week, and that's really what happened. They capitulated. We need to do very similar things here against the Roosters. It's a lot easier said than done. And as we said before, you look at the team list here, we are underdogs. And even if we were going well, I think coming up to this matchup, looking at this team list here, this team is incredible. Like the Roosters team has always been incredible. I don't think that would have changed if we're going well or not going well. I think the Roosters have an incredible lineup, but the boys just need to stick solid. A couple of stats coming into this game overall, like the Roosters right now rolling average on a 3-game average, scoring 37.3 points per game. which is one of the highest, I think, if not the highest in the competition right now on a 3-game average, which is their usual average is 28.7. So very high attacking side. They concede 18 points per game. And that was around about where we were at as well with our overall average 18-point game. For us right now, our 3-game rolling average, our attack has fallen off a little bit, obviously, 14.6 points per game.
Thanks, Killer. Sorry, I'm just going to thank you, Killer.
Thank you,
brother. We appreciate the support.
Appreciate you, man.
And like just like everyone, we appreciate the support no matter what it is. But thank you, Killer. Yeah, we'll see you on Sunday, man. And hopefully, after a win. Appreciate it. Have a good one, Killer.
You're unreal, bro. I appreciate you, man. Hard-earned money, like, you're unreal.
Yep.
But yeah, as I said before, like, our attack has fallen off from our usual 20-point per game average, which is our overarching average this season. It's fallen down to about that 14.6. We need to get that back up again. Our defense is actually slowly coming in from last week's 26 points per game. It's now 23.6. So we're slowly, I know it's wet weather footy. I still think that the Knights were helped by that wet weather footy and that not scoring against us as much. So we just need to really hold in together defensively and really hold down the Roosters. But I still see positives in our side. We are the best team for run meters in the competition. We're the best, second best team for kick return meters. So our back five fire and they get us into a good field position. We need to strike when it's hot. We need to really work over the Roosters and really find a couple of holes in their lineup. And my honest opinion, we need to attack the halves. The halves are the biggest key defensively in the Roosters right now to attack. Sammy Walker's done a lot to get over those little humps in his game of before because he's a smaller body. If we can really key up Mitch Barnett on top of Sammy Walker, because I think that's the side we're going to be mostly targeting, that's what I want to see. And this is what I mean. This is what will open up our attack later on. We need to run our edge back rollers at these boys here and really stop them in their tracks. This will stop the slide of Sam Walker. Put him one-on-one with Mitch Barnett. Mitch is going to love that matchup. He's going to love that. Yep. Luke Keary on the other side as well. Smaller body. Jackson forward. Get him one-on-one on there. I don't care how many times. Key him up on that. That will open up. The more preferred side for me would be attacking that right side overall if we're going to go out the back to Dallin. Out of these two sides, Joey Manu's the better defensive center out of the two, Joseph Suoli'i and Joey Manu. Joey Manu's incredibly defensively. I don't really see our left side really humming as much as what we kind of hoping for in this game.
I know what you mean.
Unless we go short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm seeing our points come from, bro. But hopefully the boys just come in full of effort, get down there, grind this one out, and just take away some big wins. But appreciate every single one of you guys. I think that's pretty much us for the night, my man. Any last thoughts you got overall, bro?
Just thanks to everyone. We appreciate it. The numbers, obviously.
Unreal.
We appreciate all of our regulars. Shout out Towns, everyone. Nas, Steve Miller, Tater. Great to see you, brother. Tater, man, is a great one. Analysis, bro. I'm trying to get the bro on. Hopefully he'll jump on sometime. Jazz, as always, my friend. Thank you for everything you guys do. We really appreciate it. The other thing, guys, we've got a big week of content coming through. Ash is going to do a reaction video to whenever Webby's presser is. So, it'll be interesting.
Hopefully it comes out soon.
Hope it comes out soon. It may not because they're away, but either way, we'll figure it out. But yeah, we've got obviously, I'll do a preview. Ash has got a big show tomorrow night, guys. If you can, jump on, come and support. Share it out with your whānau, people that like general NRL news and tips and punters paradise, all that stuff. So yeah, be aware for that. That should come out into your notification. Great one, Damo. Yeah, we'll be on SCNZ tomorrow, so maybe that might be a good one.
That might be the reaction we need. Maybe
just check in with that, bro. So that will be a good little one to get some feedback off. Sammy's doing that interview, should be good. I know Sammy will hit him up pretty much with what everyone's thinking. So, big week of content, guys, and then obviously Sunday, we'll be back for our show. And thank you everyone. Sorry, bro. That's all I got. But I'll just chuck it back to you.
Unreal, man. I pretty much got to echo exactly what you just said there, bro. Like, thank you so much, guys. You all turn up, no matter if it's on my channel, Buzz Up TV, whatever Warriors channel. Every time I go on another Warriors channel, it's all the same people, and you guys are absolutely incredible. You support everyone. Killer, bro. hard-earned money, man. Like,
Yeah.
it just shows like we're growing now, you know what I mean? And this is just going to help us grow even more and more. So guys, please feel free to tune in tomorrow to my show, to anything else that we got coming on in the future and all that. Tomorrow I'll probably go on a little bit more of a rant of like the bunkers. I think that's a big thing I really want to touch on. It's the biggest thing in the news right now, obviously, other than Dave Fafita, and that's another thing I want to touch on as well. But I think,
just quickly, brother, sorry. Casey Badger, I know she's been getting a lot of flack. I don't support anything around that, but any concerns with her as our ref?
Maybe
I'll leave that for tomorrow. Maybe, yeah, I want to
leave that for me tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you want my quick thoughts on it overall, I don't think we should be looking at a referee dictating our game. We should just be focusing on our game. But I just hope she tries to stick solid down the middle as best as she can.
Yeah. No, cool. I'll leave that for you. That might be a quarter for tomorrow. Yep.
100%. But yeah, talking about the bunker, talking about Dave Fafita, guys. So come through for a massive rant, a massive chat, but also a little bit of value. Hopefully my Punters Paradise will come dividends. Because last weekend, bro, we were pretty unlucky with some late freaking withdrawals from a couple of try scorers that I had up there. So hopefully this weekend I can key in on some proper ones that are going to play out. But again, guys, as I keep saying, thank you so much. We love all you guys. Like, yeah, you guys are incredible. Key into all our reactions and stuff like that, and our Sunday post-match show on Mother's Day. So make sure you love your mother as well, and make sure you get your mother online too. Come see the boys. But appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, And up the waz.
Up the waz, peace.